Welcome to Shovelware Diggers. Our dig team is currently excavating the Softkey Shareware 2000 hit games 2CD collection. You can find a link in the video description listing the entire directory structure of this archive. Here's what our diggers have for week 289. For more information on how to join the dig team, simply follow the Patreon link in the video description. Now, without further ado, let's get to it. First up, Ben Jemmett has dug up DOSGAMES /arcade/CIRCLINK. Well, I mean, it probably stands for CircleLink or something like that, right? Well, it's just a bunch of CIRCLINK files. Batch file, doc file, executable, registration, and top, which is probably high scores. So, I'm going to quickly type out the batch file, just in case it wants to do something really stupid. When this file is on your hard drive with other batch files and CIRCLINK is in its own directory, no changes should be required. Please save a copy if you adapt this file for your system. The above message is pushed off screen if there's no errors. And then apparently it's trying to run a browse program on the doc file, changes directory to a folder it's been installed to, clears the screen, runs the program, then goes back to root. I have a funny feeling this batch file is not... Well, I was about to say that this batch file wasn't a part of the main program, except it was created, looking at the file dates above, it was created a day before the executable was. So that's weird. Anyways, let's run Microsoft's edit program instead of whatever that browse thing was supposed to be. Well, it's blank right now, but if I hit page down, it's oh, I spelled it wrong. I put in CIRCLINK instead of CIRCLINK. Typing. There we go. Oh wait, we've got that Christopher Gunn guy again. So CIRCLINK is distributed as shareware on trusty basis. Apparently he wants $10 for it. Okay, so up to 4 players can play CIRCLINK, and you may include the computer as one of the players. To win at CIRCLINK, you must get your marbles to the bottom of the linked circles first. Ties go to the player at the left. He may select 1, 2, 3, or 4 marbles to win. Playing to win with 4 marbles takes a lot of strategy, and the game lasts quite a while. 1 or 2 marbles provides a faster game. You move your marbles down by rotating the links. Each circle in the row or column you select by pressing a number or alphabet key will rotate at random 1/4 turn to the left or right. If a circle's opening in the selected row or column matches the link next to it, the marble will move left, right, or down. There is one hazard. If a link is already occupied by an opponent, their marble will have to start again. Okay, so it sounds like it's kind of a mix of strategy with random chance? Okay, I get the feeling this was a later release by this guy, because there's a lot of software on this registration form. And CIRCLINK is right here, but it's also listed as $25? Wasn't there a file... didn't it say in like the doc file that it was only $10, or was I misreading that? Yeah, it says right here, the registration fee for CIRCLINK is $10. But if we open the actual registration form that was included, like, it says right here, $25 for any of those pieces of software. Yeah, that's kind of misleading. Well, let's see how this thing works. So because there's that batch file there, I want to make sure I'm writing the actual executable. So I actually have to type in the full file name for once. circlink.exe. Okay, so, okay, need to know some information before we start playing. Here's some information. Why does your music sound like that? That music was, erratic. How many balls required to win? Let's just say 2. You want the sound? Yep. Because I don't care that it's erratic or not. It's for the YouTubes, or whatever video service this ends up later on. Originally Blip. That was a long time ago. Also like to know all the players' names. Please enter your name. There I go. Or just press enter when you're done. May I play 2? Sure. Do I have the names right? Yes, you do. Okay. So there's 1 marble so far. I guess that's my marble. So I have to push a number for the column I want, AG for row, or S to start the ball. Okay. So let's say column 2. Okay. I'm not entirely certain what that did. It like made a bunch of things blue. I guess maybe C? Huh. Okay, I think I see what's going on here. Sort of. So like each one of these circles does have an opening in it. And you can see that the ones at the top there, there's the ones that have the marbles in it actually do have an opening at the top. So I guess maybe 0 might get me... Oh no, it went the wrong way. Is there any other ones up there that are... Number 4 might give me a chance. Nope, that went down again. 3 maybe? Nope, that went down as well. Well, how come he just got to put, like, 1 and 6 without having to... Like, I mean, if I set 1... Yeah, that just turns it. Okay, so... The computer just had one of their marbles moved to the side there. So if I hit 1... Okay, and now... Because there's an opening on the 1 there, if I hit the S key... Press column number to start ball, 1. Okay, so it put one of my marbles there, but then it gave me an error message? I don't know. Okay, I got my thing to move down to the row down there. Now here's the trick, is that if I hit 1 right... Well, no, because it's going to turn the one that's above it for sure. So if I hit 1, yeah, it should be okay. Interesting. Oh, hey, wait a minute. That was my move. How come the computer's marble got to override my marble? Actually, if I hit start ball now, I can put it into the 2 column. And then we're still pretty open up there, so I can put in 1 into the 7 column. And then, just for good measure, we'll put 1 in the 1 column. Now let's see if I can actually get any of these to go anywhere. Yeah, so now the computer made a move, and yet their marble overwrote mine. Like, that doesn't seem fair. Like, if I make a move and my marble intersects one of the computer's marbles, I lose my marble. But if the computer makes a move and the same thing happens, I still lose my marble. What the heck? Okay, this seems like it's kind of an obnoxious game, now that I'm thinking about it, because you have no control over this, short of selecting rows and columns, but then it's totally random what the result is going to be. And then sometimes it weirdly starts going really fast. Like, that's kind of weird too that it's doing that. Okay, so now the computer made a move and my marble overwrote his marble. This game has like no rules. This game is just... I don't know what to say about it. Okay, why did that work now? Like earlier, I managed to link the D1 and D2 circles together, but my marble didn't move. And now I just did it again, and now it did move. I'm telling you, this game has no rules. It thinks it has rules, but it doesn't. Okay, let's see if I can at least score a point, because I think if I get this to my marble to the bottom, that, like, gets points. I'm hoping. Okay, it's at the bottom. It's at the bottom, now I just have to get it off the board. Surely that's not going to be too difficult, even with random chance. Okay. I've got, like, an open socket right there. and it's not going off the board. Do I have to do it from the column? Okay, at this point, I'm just trying to get something going here. Like, the computer's not doing very well at playing this game either, so... Okay, I've almost got a second marble to the bottom. This took quite a bit longer than I was hoping it would. Let's see if I can get the row there. Okay, something's happening. I actually won. Okay, that was CIRCLINK. I never want to play that again. That was the most random, ruleless game I think we've seen so far. Next up, Felicia Gladson has dug up WINGAMES /GG/missile. I'm gonna guess a missile command clone. Because usually when you start the name of your game with missile, that's probably what it's gonna be. Ooh, that's a lot of WAV files. I guess we're in for a treat for the ears or something. There's also several executable files, including one called Boink. Why is there an executable called Boink? That doesn't make any sense. And setup's probably, yep, all the same files. So at least we know they're all supposed to be there. So I guess we could just try running it. Do I have any file? Okay, we got a file id.diz. Wait, what does that say? So apparently this is the Nisus or Nisus? Nessus? I don't know how to pronounce that word. But Missile Master, a missile command type game for Windows 3.1, received Shareware Magazine's Editor's Choice Award. Shareware Magazine. Either that's a very generic thing, or there was actually a magazine called Shareware Magazine, which, you know, that's not impossible, but... Oh, and look at this. Includes VB Run 200 DLL. You don't have to go download it from elsewhere. That definitely doesn't happen often. And 17 Canadian to register. Okay, so it's going to be a missile to command type game. Do we have a help file? Oh, I just noticed we have a MIDI file. We may even have music. Oh boy. I'm not seeing... There it is. Missile help. So... Shareware Magazine Editor's Choice. Man, they're really pushing that. Okay. You never know. This might be like the best missile command game ever released for Windows 3.1, but we'll see. We'll see. I just went into this about the author section here, and it says, warning, the following information may be really boring. However, if you want to hear some background on the author, please read on. And apparently the author is a Scott Murray. That name sounds very familiar for some reason. Okay, so the reason why Scott Murray sounds familiar is because there's literally no less than 13 different developers listed on the Moby Games website with this name. So this could be one of them, or it could be a 14th Scott Murray that we know nothing about. But yeah, so that actually doesn't help us. It could literally be anyone. Okay, and I do like that it actually lists what the limitations of the Shareware version are here. So it's basically saying there's no nag screen in registered version. You can start beyond level 5. You can go beyond level 25, and you don't have cheats in the Shareware version. So that kind of makes sense. How to play. So I want to know if the controls are going to be anything crazy. Control placement of your missiles with the mouse. Fire a missile, press left or right mouse button corresponding to left or right missile base. Okay, so that's simple enough. Well, you know what? Let's just try running it. So, missile. Okay, so got a little screen here. Looks like it would fit the 640 by 480 better, but here we go. So we got our cities. Got help, standard about. Oh, that's interesting. It's actually detecting the system status. Some games like to do this just because to show that the programmer actually knows how to read that info. Most people, not a lot of people know how to tap into that information, but it's not really that tricky. We got our options here. Oh, that's neat. You can actually change the colors of literally everything. Huh. Okay, so explosions are normal, speed is normal, sound effects and music. Let's get... Oh! There's the music. I'm trying to figure out if I recognize this music or not. I don't think I do. It doesn't... like, it's not ringing any bells. The song itself is called Met Blast. I guess Metal Blast or something like that. Also, I'm going to turn the game speed down because I got a funny feeling if it's all the way fast, it's going to go like stupid fast. Because, you know, that's just how it tends to work. Anyways, save, okay. And I guess start game. So those are the scores that are going to happen. Prepare for level 1. Maybe I set the game speed a little too low? Oh no, wait, there's one coming in. Okay, yeah, I definitely set the game speed too low, because that's really slow. So let's actually go change that. The music stopped when I tried to go into the options, and nothing's working anymore. Windows 3.1 emulation, gotta love it. I also noticed the music was a little loud, so what I'm gonna do, I've got the Sound Blaster panel there, so I'm gonna go back into the game, so GG and missile, wherever it is, there it is. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in, gotta wait for the nag screen, which thankfully is only a few seconds, and sometimes people put in like 15-second nag screens. Okay, that's interesting, the music turned off. Okay, well let's get that quieted down a bit here. Okay, I actually didn't have to adjust it that much, but hopefully that'll do the trick. So, let's get some stuff minimized. Let's set the game speed to about the middle. Hopefully that'll be a more appropriate speed, but we'll see. So, start game. Now, waiting for thing. Yep, there's that siren. So is it going to be a more normal game speed? Maybe? Still feels a little slow. Okay, maybe if I just exit out and go back in, it's not going to completely crash. That's a result of the, trying to go into the options screen. Okay, so if I go into options now, that's interesting. It's like saving some of the options, but not all of them. Anyways, I gotta keep it on fast now because clearly this game goes fast, doesn't have any speed issues. Yeah, see, that was more the speed I was expecting. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay, so this game actually has proper timing. Who'd have thought? Although I don't like that you can click through these screens here, but the problem is if you do that, then you fire a missile automatically, which is kind of not ideal. Ooh, I got all 3 of those with that one missile. So that means I got 3 missiles left over for the end. So, level 3. Seem to be doing okay so far. Okay, so these are actually kind of difficult to see. I have no idea how well they're showing up on the... how well they're going to show up on the video, but yeah, it's actually kind of hard to see the lines from these things coming down. Like, so far this actually is playing pretty decently. Like, I mean, it's working in such a way that the further the missile has to fly from your launcher, the longer it takes to reach its target. Like, everything's coming down at a seemingly normal pace relative to how fast your own stuff goes. I mean, it could get really dumb in the later levels. Apparently it goes up to like 25 or something. Now, admittedly, I'm not a master at Missile Command by any means. In fact, Missile Command is one of the games I'm kind of subpar at, but This one's playing pretty well. It is very basic. Like, I mean, some missile command type games that people made tried to expand on the formula, like have different kinds of weapons and stuff. This one's just, you know, the basic formula. And I should probably be paying closer attention to what's going on here, because they're really making an effort with this volley. Well, I think I protected everything just fine there. I guess the last thing to do, really, is to just see how the game ends, because Missile Command will go on forever if I let it, so let's just let the cities get nuked. Let's see what happens. We got one coming straight down for a missile launcher, so that'll be interesting to see how that takes shape. Or if there's, like, any animations, or... Oh, that's hilarious. It's like a screaming sound effect. A screaming and terror sound effect. Oh, somehow a city survived that. The one right in the middle. But it's like that uh-oh sound, which I don't know where it comes from, but I've heard it in a whole bunch of software in the Windows 3.1 days. But that scream, I'm pretty sure, isn't normal. Okay, this city is about to get nuked, because we got one coming down right there. So, that should have an effect. Yeah, the scream keeps getting cut off by the other explosion sounds, though. I guess that's the drawback to having just one sound channel.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Of course they And why is there suddenly that noise? Oh, stolen sound effects everywhere. So yeah, that was Nisus Missile Master. It's actually not that bad a game, all things considered. That's actually pretty decent for a Missile Command clone. The sound effects got a little crazy, though, at the end there. But, you know, other than that, it's basic Missile Command, and it's done well, and it's in Windows 3.1, and it has a music tune that is going to very much drone on you, so I can understand why it's off by default. And our last game for today from Jay the Brain Man is WINGAMES /solitaire /discard. Kind of a curious name for a solitaire game, just discard? Like, doesn't every solitaire game have discarding and stuff? Maybe not? I don't know. FileID.dis, what we got? Discard 1.0 Windows solitaire game meant to drive you nuts like most solitaire games. No. That you're thinking of Minesweeper. Minesweeper is the game that came with Windows that drove everyone nuts. Solitaire, no. Why would Solitaire drive you nuts? Anyways, let's see what the write files or doc file says. Okay, this was made by a Matt something. That is a last name that I'm having trouble figuring out just how to start pronouncing it. Okay, this is an odd way to start your explanation of your game. It says this game is almost identical to another game I have floating around cyberspace. The other game is called Icicle. Below is a summary of the differences in the rules. And then it goes on to say both games play exactly the same way. 4 columns are displayed, and if matching suits exist of the 4 bottommost cards, the lower card is discarded by double-clicking. Yeah, it's very weird to start your explanation by saying that your game plays the same as some other game. Like, that just throws people off. And so it's saying here, any of the bottommost cards from the 3 remaining non-empty columns can be moved to the top of the empty column. In this game, the covered cards are completely covered. Since the object is to leave only the 4 kings at the top of the columns, the user must remember where the kings are as they become covered by other cards. Doesn't that kind of make this a game that can only work as a computer game? Like, that's the thing when it comes to any kind of... When you're trying to produce a card game, specifically a card game, you have to consider that any card that isn't seen by someone can be anything. Like, there's no guarantee that it's going to be such and such card. So having rules in place that require you to know what that card is when you can't know what it is doesn't work outside of computer-based logic where the computer is able to know the state of all the cards at the same time. And this feels like the way this has been described here feels like it's that kind of game where it works as a computer game but wouldn't work in reality. And it's saying here to give the guy $5 if you find it half as addictive as his girlfriend. So that's an interesting way of putting it. Anyways, let's try running it. Okay, does it maximize is going to be an interesting question because we don't have an answer to that yet. So we got the rules page here. We got an about screen, which has a very unusual icon. Anyways, we can pick our suit deck. Okay, so it's using the standard Microsoft deck. So that's good. Why does this have a maximize button? Oh boy. Which cards are we going to pick? Or actually, hang on. Is this the standard Microsoft deck? This card backing doesn't look familiar. Well, I have a way to check this. We could just go into the actual Windows Solitaire and see what... Okay, those are different. There's a lot of similar ones. I'm just trying to see if we can see all of them at the same time. Okay, so it looks like it's tapping into some of the Windows ones, but not all of them. So of the 12 card backs you can select from the Windows stuff, it looks like it's only allowing you to select 9 of them. Really? 9? Which one's missing? Because it looks like all the decorative ones are there, but... Oh, it's missing one of the fish ones. So it's got the cyan-backed fish one, but not the blue-backed fish one. And then it also has these 4 here, which are not part of these ones, and these 2 aren't in here. So yeah, it is actually a different deck, or a different set of decks, or card backs, whatever. Let's just pick the seashell, because I've already got it selected. Okay, deal. So now let's check to see if it maximizes. Of course not. Okay, so the way you discard a card is there has to be a card with a matching suit in a different column that's larger than the card you want to discard. So in this case, I can discard this 3 and this 7. And I do that by double-clicking. And since it's still early in the game, we don't have to worry about moving cards yet, so we click on here to get some more. Okay, that was an interesting deal. So we can get rid of this 8. But now we're stuck with these cards. But now here's the thing, is that I can actually pull one of these cards to an empty column. So if I do that, that reveals that we have a heart there from that Jack of Hearts. I probably should have moved that 8 instead, but whatever. So we click on this again. Okay, so in this case, we're able to get rid of this 9 and this 10. And then we can get rid of this 10. But now we've got all different suits again, so we gotta pull some more off. We can get rid of the 7, the queen, and get rid of that 9. And it was a heart under here, right? So if we move that, then we can get rid of that 9. And then the only one we really have to move is that king. But that leaves us with all different ones now, so... Okay, so we can get rid of that 2, and then the 7, then the 5, and then all different. So now I can get rid of that queen, the 9 there. That lets us move this king again. So I think that was what the goal was here, wasn't it? Well, not the about. The in the rules here. So yeah, the trick is we want to get rid of every card except the kings. And the aces are also considered the lowest card in the game, which, you know, kind of makes sense. It's a 1. Like, I know most games aces are high, but nope. In Solitaire, usually aces are the low card. So we can get rid of that 6, that Jack, that 8, that 6, and we're all different again. Okay, I'm managing to pull back a few of these. Okay, that lets us move this king. So being able to move the kings is kind of really good. Ooh. So we know that there's a king way at the bottom there, so we're actually in a pretty good spot. But that's the end of the deck. Okay, so... Ooh. The trick was... Okay, I think that's a spade under there. Yes. And then the one under there, I'm pretty sure is a heart. Is it a club? It can't be a club because I know it's a king. Ooh. Well, I guess we're going to move to 7. Okay. I actually did it. We got rid of every card except the kings. Okay, so what I was saying before about the nature of producing a game where you can't see the results of the cards or anything, that doesn't actually apply to here, because if you needed to, theoretically, if you needed to, you could look through these columns and see what cards were in there, because it's solitaire and nobody's going to stop you. But the point is that if you no longer have any cards to pull and you can't make any moves, and there's more than 4 cards out there, you clearly still have some kings out there. So, because that's the way the game would end. Since you can't ever remove the kings, the lowest score possible would be to have all 4 kings left. So, yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, that was Discard. An interesting take on a solitaire game. I'm not sure it's exactly how difficult this would be, like, in the long run, like, whether it would have any staying power, because generally speaking, the more difficult a game is, the more difficult a game is, while still being stimulating to some degree, kind of determines what the staying power of a game is. And for this one, it's kind of hard to know. But hey, the guy who made it, apparently their girlfriend really loves this game, so yeah, I guess that's one way to judge its quality.